Hello everyone, welcome to the Experimental Show. What do we got going on today? A new class. Will it work? Let's show you how we test it. To do this class, we have to start with some hot glass, and here it is in the tank. It's clear. We are going to add color on top of it. We don't know, this is a test. We've never done this class before. It's a new product that we're doing. There's so many ways to test this. So we're gonna do it in clear first. We're gonna add some color. Then we gotta think about who's teaching the class, what their skill level is, and can the customers do it? All these things need to be discovered, figured out, and worked. So we start with clear. We got Jake blowing a bubble. It is not orange glass, it is clear glass. He's shaping it. I'm gonna use a blow hose on this one because we're gonna figure out how to best do this, and we're setting some of the things we know up for success. So here's Oliver. Oliver's the student. He's got these ceramic poles in his hand, and he's gonna push in and create these stalactite type things inside the glass. We don't know how this is going to work, so this is our first one. He's taking the copper pipe, and his goal is to push the glass together so that it touches on the inside. And then when Jake is blowing down the pipe like he is right now, it is expanding, it is blowing up, and where it touched in the center is creating these thin pieces of glass on the inside hooked together. It's a really cool thing. You might have heard them called witches' balls. We want to come up with our own name for them because this is just a prototype. There's so much more to come, and we've got to figure it all out. So you are at the Glass Academy, and into the vermiculite goes this clear round ball, and Jake's actually going to put a loop on it because in his mind these items were going to hang. Now I'm doing the filming, so I'm kind of directing what's going on because I'm working with YouTube and I want to build our brand, so I want to look at the filming. So I asked Jake if he would take over and do the loop. Okay, Jake put a loop on this, and this is like an ornament loop, but my original idea for these pieces was not to have them hang. So they're gonna sit on the tabletop. And now we've done it in clear, we kind of got an idea. So next is to put out some color. We're gonna test it with color and see if it does what we want. The downfall was the color did not do what we wanted, and we know purples sell, so I'm like, let's do it in purple. And then the reality is we're still testing this out. So we're doing all these different purple colors, and it doesn't turn out quite the way we want. They are on display in the Glass Academy. If you come by, you can see them and check them out for yourself. But all these colors that we use here, next time I will do blues or yellows or something that is not our most expensive color. So here Jake's putting on the color. It is being wrapped around the piece of glass, giving it this spotted effect. Now the way Jake is adding the color is perfect if we were doing, say, a tumbler or a pumpkin, something that we wanted an even color coat on. But what we discovered is after making these, this is not the way we want the color, because what happens is you can't see the whole interesting pattern going on the inside. So that was kind of a bummer, but that's why they're prototypes. That's why this is the Experimental Show. So again, shaping it, blowing it. Oliver's going to be using these copper pipes. We've got a stand here, so the customer will be standing. It makes it less awkward for them than to bend over or have to step over something. So Oliver is our test subject. In front of him is a piece of equipment called a yoke, Y-O-L-K, with the yoke of oxen that you put together. It's a holding device so that we can shape the glass. Using the copper pipes, his goal is to push it in. Now Oliver knows glass, so he knows what he's doing. So the next question becomes, as a student, if we say, hey, poke the glass and make these two items meet in the center, will they understand what we're talking about? That's always the challenge when teaching a class, how to get the wordage right so the customer knows, the student knows exactly what we're looking for and how it's going to turn out perfect. So Jake is kind of doing this little recipe now. You can see he's acting like he's cooking, and he's picking out specific colors for the piece that he wants. So the one prior to this was too much color, so this is less color. Now, if you're watching us, please subscribe to our other channels. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's great for us. Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, we all post different videos throughout the days, and they'll have different views of some of the same things. Now, this experimental show is only if you're getting our e-news. It's on YouTube. You could stumble across it, but most of the people who watch this are from our e-news. And if you remember, if you go back to your e-news, there is a contest to win a $25 gift card to purchase items from the Glass Academy. So it doesn't cost you anything. Just answer the question in the e-news and you'll be entered to win. We pick those winners out every Tuesday night on our show called The Gathering Point. That is a live show from 6 to 8 p.m. and we post both winners on that show. All right, Oliver's back. This one has less color on it. He's poking it again. So this is where we're wondering, is it just one poke and then reheat it? The thing that happens when we test something like this is we go faster than it will actually happen in a class. So we're gonna test this on our end, then we're gonna test it on the staff. Then we're bringing in a focus group that's actually gonna work on these items. We're gonna sit down and have a conversation before and after, what worked, what didn't work, and why, so that by the time this class comes to the market, we have well tested and documented it, and it's a success and a win for everyone involved. Okay, Jake's satisfied with how many pokes it had. He's got the blow tube still attached to the pipe, and now he's going to use the jacks here and squeeze down. Now this, we have to come up with a name for it. We're still not solid on the name that we're going to call these, and I don't have my list in front of me of what some of the names were, but as we get different views of this, you're going to see the spikes on the inside of it. It's super cool. Still a little too much color to see the spikes 100% inside. So we are going to modify this again. Not sure how yet, but that's what we're going to practice. By the time you see this video, we will have practiced a few more times. And this is actually going to be one of the classes that is in our lineup for the fall. We do have a couple images of the finished product, so you're going to be able to see those lines a little more evident towards the end of this video. Now remember, like, subscribe, check out our other social channels. It's super fun. We post different content on all of them. So the live shows are very different from our social content. Okay, now the finished piece. What my goal is that it's going to sit on a tabletop. We're going to break it off from the pipe. We're going to flatten the bottom so that you can put it on a tabletop. You may want to purchase one of the light bases that we sell in the studio or not. It will sit flat on the table. One of the reasons we're not doing the loops like this is that the globe itself will be very heavy, and it would need to hang from a chain or something, or a rope. But also those little sticky hooks that you put on your window aren't strong enough to hold it. So we figured we wanted to do a tabletop version, so it's more of like a gazing ball, an infinity ball, something, a mystery ball. We don't know what the name is yet for this particular class. So in the studio, Jake has picked out his special mix, and just rolling on the marble here, he's able to adhere the color to it. For our classes, we do 4 students an hour. That gives us plenty of time to do some instruction. Actually, it's a 1.5 hour class to 2 hours, but we book them by the hour. So there's 4 people in a class per instructor. It really allows for some hands-on time, some one-on-one, and in just a minute you're going to see one of our customers who happened to be in the studio, and we said, hey, you want to jump in? And she did. So we're going to show you what the classes are like. Now it's hot, it's orange, it's spinning, and it's a little bit flexible on the pipe still. So the true colors you'll see in a few minutes. And here is that customer that I was talking about. So when we teach classes, we guide you. So Jake is turning the pipe. He's showing how to use the jack tool and assisting. It's a very light squeeze. Sometimes when you go to use the jacks, if you're new and you don't know how to work glass, your tendency is just to squeeze down and clamp on it, and that will create bumps and ridges in the glass. So Jake was just assisting there. In this image, we'll call this the first bubble. This is a clear one. You see some reflection of the windows above us, but inside are the pieces of where the glass has touched on the inside, so we know it's doing what we want, but what we want to see is some color in it. So here's one with a little spots of color. It looks a little, well, if I'm being honest, it looks a little junky, but that will clear up. We didn't like the way the color was over the whole piece, so we're going to do the color more in spots. And that way when you push in on the glass, you could choose one of the spots or a clear space behind it. And then you're going to see more of these lines coming through like the one here. So we have all sorts of different colors. We'll do 3 different color families for these classes. They'll be very unique, and I'm very much looking forward to teaching it. I think it's going to be a very fun class that people will like very much. So welcome to the experimental show. We hope you liked it. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider following us on other YouTube platforms. It doesn't cost anything to join us. And we do all sorts of interesting content, including our live show called The Gathering Point every Tuesday evening. Looking forward to seeing you there.